We're live.
Ta-da! A dinosaur story. There aren't dinosaurs here though. Well, deep underneath the ground, probably. There's like chalk deposits in England. There's
Jesus
dinosaurs in that. There's
Christ.
gotta be. This is what I remember of the geology I took in high school. Welcome, everyone. Hi, this is Werewolf, as you can clearly tell by the geology talk. A Werewolf the
This
Apocalypse.
is, this is Rock Talk.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rock Talk.
I would so watch that.
Same.
Where was I? Train of thought. It's derailed. Much like a certain train. We're gonna get to that. First, though, we're gonna introduce our wonderful players here in this Werewolf the Apocalypse game. Called Ballad of a Werewolf. And my wonderful players today are Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Alexis Theron Lambros, who is a Black Fury kinfolk, because I want to live. So I made a kinfolk in a werewolf game.
And Shawnee.
Hi, I'm Shawnee, or William, and I am playing Eileen Baird, who is not supposed to have been the one to outlive the other packmate who just died, but so here we are. And she is a Hamid Black Fury Ragabash. Not Black Fury, she's a Shadow Lord.
You could convert.
She could be a Black Fury.
Join us.
This is this would be the episode where everyone sort of joins a cult. It's very apropos. And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I am very out of it. I'm playing Juniper. She is a Metis Philodox Stargazer, and I give Jeremy's new character 5 sessions.
Well, we're down.
That is generous.
We're on number 2.
Technically. So we're on 2. Here we go, folks. And Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I am playing Dapple, the Lupus Black Fury Galliard.
The actual Black Fury. Ta-da! And I'm Mara, and I will be your storyteller.
Most of this pack could have been Black Furies.
Yes. Listen,
I'm actual possible. Black Fury. Just not Black Fury
Werewolf.
Like Trueborn.
Mm-hmm. And Black Lives Matter and trans rights are human rights. And this is a game of horror. There will be horrible things in it. If these horrors are too close to horrors that are actually happening to you, I'm very sorry. Get werewolf repellent, and don't touch these werewolves because they are not puppies.
Silver and Wolfsbane, everybody.
There we go.
Won't work for these werewolves.
No.
Well, not the latter. The former will work.
No, none of these werewolves have that particular allergy.
No, the former will work very well.
There we go. Take care of yourselves. But meanwhile, these werewolves should probably take care of themselves because some traumatic things have happened recently. On a trip outside of London to meet / check in / make a mandatory appearance with her mother, Dapple, and the rest of her pack took a train ride, which unfortunately ended in fiery oblivion for a certain theurge.
I will say, by the way, I do really like the fact that my werewolf character basically died to the World of Darkness equivalent of the random wandering monster bandit attack.
Yeah. Sadly, as the confluence of some bombs placed on a train by some enterprising, very, very dead bandits, and a group of hunters who had been zeroing in on a new cub making his first change on this wonderful train journey, resulted in the death of Aoife, daughter of Hecate. Sadly, before her time, lost, never forgotten. And with that tragedy stopping the train ride, the group made their way on foot with the body of their fallen comrade to Dapple's family home, the Edivane farm, a large estate where Cecilia Edvane and Lillian Farley, kinfolk of the Black Fury, tend an idyllic little haven for werewolves and their kin, who we met some of last time, including Alexis, who is currently standing in an outbuilding of the farm with the this pack, who are in various states of distress. Juniper, I believe, is curled up next to Aoife's body.
Yep.
Eileen has gone out to take out some frustrations, rage, etc., on some unsuspecting targets on a shooting range, and Dapple had been curled up on the floor, sort of very upset because her mother has expectations about how a Galliard should do their work, and it was not lived up to, unfortunately. The funeral, Rivers Current is currently taking care of the arrangements of. She will let you all know through the grapevine or directly that it is taking place tonight. Once the moonrise happens. So you all got here early in the morning, so you have kind of the day to yourselves. What are people doing? Let's start, I think, with Eileen. After during target practice. Actually, let's see how you're doing at that. I want to know how good Eileen is at.
Unfortunately, this is probably the worst time because I believe our food just arrived. But
oh no.
Let me.
I can pause and go to someone else.
Yeah, if you want to go to someone else real quick,
Yep.
because I believe food just showed up.
Okay. Let's see. Alexis, what are you doing?
When we left off, I was sitting next to Dapple. I'm just gonna be keeping close to Dapple.
To Dapple? Okay.
Yeah. Unless unless I'm told to do something else by what's her name? Or frankly any of the Trueborn. But
yep.
Otherwise I'm just chilling next to the return home.
So we zoom in on that.
Yep. So how's London?
Big. Very big.
Yeah. Yeah. I was there briefly when I came into England, but it's big. New York big.
I'd still like to go across the pond and actually see America with you.
You like it there.
But
beyond size,
I have gotten quite acquainted with the local Black Fury sept and have joined several protests.
Very cool.
The people tend to stay out of my way most of the time, but other than that, it's I would say peaceful, but everything reeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So tell me all about your pack.
Well, our alpha is Wolfric.
Mm-hmm.
He's foreign I don't know where from. Or do we know he's from Russia? Or I don't think that was stated.
I'm not entirely sure. I think he might have said it. He also has a very thick Russian accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Alexis would be like, yeah, that was what I was picking up on him from the accent.
Yeah.
He's strong and has a fairly good head on his shoulders when he's not in his rage.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen is wild for someone who comes from the city. And has a spirit that I've not really encountered before anywhere else.
Okay.
Juniper is kind and giving and always there to listen. She has a very big heart.
Well, it sounds like you found a good match.
And Aoife brought us all together, and she was inspiring. She saw the world differently. Quite literally. She saw it in shades of death. And she was connected with her ancestors in a way that I don't think many Garu get the chance to be.
It sounds like a lot.
She was a tough soul, to say the least.
How are you feeling?
That's sort of a loaded question. Well,
It sounds like it, but it's not.
I miss my friend. And I wish there were more I could have done to prevent what happened. And I wish I had told her story better. I think I am going to ask Rivers Current Rhea to allow me to give proper send-off tonight.
I think that's a good idea.
I assume not much has changed around here.
No, it's same old, in a good way. Mostly. Well, things are good. It's nice to have you back.
That's honestly nice to be back. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm. You know, it was an adjustment for me when I got here, but I kind of like it now.
Going back to London is going to be very loud.
You'll get used to it. All right. What do you need?
I don't know. I
Don't overthink it.
need to run.
All right. I'll try to keep up.
So wolf howls
Let's go.
outside. not close yet. You know, they like to go like occasionally. Someone will release a hapless rabbit, and there will be a chase for enrichment.
Yes.
It's great fun.
It was unfortunate finding out that I was the zookeeper and I had to provide enrichment in my enclosure.
All right, let's go.
So Dapple will jog, I would say, probably, to be slow enough for Alexis to keep up.
He's not on. Let's see. It'll be fun.
Stamina athletics, I think. This is
Cool.
long running.
It's the same as Dex athletics for me.
Okay.
So. Yeah, not bad.
Do you need that from me as well?
I still have 4
I want
legs.
to see what the
Or
comparison
2
is.
legs.
Dex and athletics.
Stamina.
Make sure you're on the right
Oh,
form.
stamina. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. We're in the right form. Okay, cool.
This is diff 6.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the tiredness, the exhaust, a little bit of the exhaustion,
Mm-hmm.
but you're both keeping pace with each other. It's nice.
Cool.
It's running. All right, Juniper, you're curled. Well, let's get back to Eileen first. I think Eileen, you're.
First, I will ask if Eileen has the shooting range to herself, basically.
Yes, currently. It's early in the morning. A lot of people are doing like food and things, and there was a big commotion with the group coming in. So anyone who was out here practicing early is away from that currently. So yes, when you first head out there, it is empty.
So if I may, there is a scene in my head that I would like to paint for you.
Go for it.
Eileen walks up to the shooting range just frustrated and mad, and she just draws her revolver. It's already in her hand. She walked over with it in her hand. She just takes aim and starts shooting. Empties a full cylinder, opens it, drops rounds, reloads, empties it again.
A cloud of birds rushes up from nearby bushes where they were nesting.
And this sort of wordlessly continues, and her frustration just seems to mount, whether she's hitting the target or not. And it just kind of builds to a boiling point. And in this moment where she doesn't really feel like she's living up to the moniker of Smoke, where she doesn't feel like she is the person she's been trying to be, when she feels like the weak Victorian ingenue that she is in her Hamid form, she inadvertently shifts back to Hamid, and for once, the 2 things that are most important to her identity as Smoke, the greatcoat and the hat, fail to shrink down with her the way they're normally supposed to. And the hat just kind of gets in her eyes, and she throws it, letting her long black hair out, and the coat now just looks comically oversized on her for a moment, and she loads one more cylinder in and fires it haphazardly before dropping to her knees, and in this moment when no one else is around to see her at all, for the first time in the only place where no one else can see her, she cries. And I think she's there for a while before she can pick herself back up and put the mask back on, be Smoke again, shift back up into Glabro, fit the coat and the hat back in place, and walk away, not caring how many of the shots she actually sent downrange actually hit anything.
Give me a perception or perception awareness diff 8.
Perception. Awareness. Alertness, you mean?
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, alertness. Just forget. I was thinking vampire.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, your eyes are blurred and you're blinking and like trying to like compose yourself as you walk off. The camera stays and we see that although they started out very scattered, there are a series of about 10 bullets that just sort of like went through and shredded one of these targets. So it's got a hole in the straw, just sort of like a smoking crater. And you, where are you walking to?
I think she's just walking. I don't think she has a destination in mind.
Okay. All right. I will get back to that. Dapple in next to Aoife's body. How long are you staying there?
Juniper.
Or Juniper, sorry. Thank you.
Till she's moved or the body is moved.
Okay.
There's nowhere else to go right now.
All right. It is about half an hour before a couple of people come over. Give me a if you want to maybe notice this, you can roll this. Otherwise, you can just say you fail it. Perception alertness, diff 6. Diff 5, honestly. Because they're not super quiet.
4 success.
Okay. Yeah. You hear on like the edges of your perception awareness, the like sound of like a door kind of creaking a little open, and then some like whispers, and some more whispers, and the door creaks again, and there's some more whispers, and you can hear as some people are like, should we bother her? No, that's one of it's Dapple's new pack. Well, but we have to, she said we have to get started, and time is, listen, it can wait. They're like arguing amongst themselves. And about like that happens maybe about 30 minutes. They give you some time. But eventually, a young woman, mousy brown hair, looks a little bit like sickly, like kind of similar to Eileen in her Hamid form, comes over and is gonna like gingerly crouch an arm's distance away from you. Not far enough if you are going to go into a rage, but a prudent distance away, and is just going to say quietly, excuse me, ma'am. Don't want to disturb, but we need to prepare her for the send-off.
Juniper will just stare at her for a moment and then nod and step away. And then she's just gonna. Where is she? Were we in a barn?
Yes, you were kind of like in a half-built kind of barn, essentially. It doesn't have a whole lot in it, besides like building supplies and like spare farm equipment kind of thing. In sort of the inner part of the farm.
That she's just gonna wander out of it, but she has no idea where she's going because she's never been here before.
This is true.
She's just gonna start to wander
Okay.
and not really pay attention where she's going.
All right. The let's see. Eileen, as you're walking away briskly from the shooting range, you can kind of see in the distance and hear it started going on while you were shooting. I don't think you were aware of it at the time.
Probably.
But you can hear the joyful howls of wolves and probably see from this distance you have fairly perceptive the running figure of that kinfolk that you had seen in the barn earlier, and then Dapple running with the pack.
And she just kind of pulls her hat down a little lower over her eyes a bit and just sort of continues walking aimlessly.
Okay. About this time, a figure starts walking next to you. You don't. It's kind of sudden. You're noticing it. Like as you tug this hat down, you like move your arm, and then right in that corner where your arm was, there is River's Current. She is in wolf form, and then she shifts back to Hamid.
Can I help you?
I don't need any help. But thank you for offering. You're the beta in my daughter's pack.
And what of it?
I have connections across this country, and I like to keep track of what is going on in the centers of power, being what they are. I like to know what's happening, including how my daughter fares. The news was good. I'm sorry the invitation has resulted in this. He turns and looks at you. And pauses. Stops moving.
Eileen just kind of turns and looks. Mom, if you're looking to trade secrets, today's not the day. If you've got something you want to know, be out with it. I'm not feeling particularly Shadow Lord or Ragabash right now.
Understandable. I wanted to hear from her peers how she has been doing. News gathered from second and third hand sources is one thing. And I'm not saying I don't trust my sources, but you're here.
Frankly, she's been doing her goddamn best, and if she weren't with our pack, we probably wouldn't still all be alive, as many of us as we are.
Good.
If you want specifics or you want tales, I'd go ask her. She's the Galliard.
She'll nod and turn and walk away.
Eileen just kind of sucks her teeth for a second and then sighs, exhales, checks the load on her revolver, realizes she didn't reload it after that last cylinder.
Uh-huh.
Slowly pulls out a handful more ammunition, loads it back in, spins the chamber, slams it shut, holsters the revolver. She deserves a little bit more credit than I think she gets, you know.
Oh, River's current has walked off.
Yeah. I don't think she cares.
Okay.
And she sort of looks around, takes stock of the layout of the area. And I think she tries to find the highest point with the best view, because at this point she needs to see what is all around.
Okay. This is it's like gentle rolling hills. There aren't really good. There's the best vantage point is honestly like the main house, which is like you can see it's busy. There are a fair number of people kind of like going around doing their work, kind of thing, and that house is sort of an epicenter of that right now.
I mean, if the highest point is the roof of the barn, she's not averse to like getting up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The highest point would actually be the house. There's like a widow's walk kind of up there.
Mm.
And it's pretty tall. So if you want to climb up there.
I think hang on a minute. Is there a particular cost on this? I don't think there is. Yeah, no, there isn't. Dice, why you gotta do me like that?
Yeah.
Either way, I think she's just going to like slip through the crowd and try and make her way up to the widow's walk to try and get the lay of the land.
Okay. All right. It's not a roll to climb up there, but it is a roll to do this quietly, without being seen. So dexterity self. Difficulty 7. It's not designed to be easy to sneak up there. All right, but you manage. Kind of making your way through. You don't think you've been spotted. And you head up there and take a survey. You can see kind of the layout that I think I put in the channel last time. Yes. This sort of central. It's got outbuildings, not really like a strict fence, but you can see the strategic layout of waypoints in kind of enough locations around the perimeter of this main area where wolves can run free and roam and have their life inside of a protected zone. From this high up, you can see that over a couple of hills, there is what looks like a small village. And at this point, you'd actually see a train kind of stopped on a track nearby. It's currently just sending up smoke. Possibly it has gotten reports of, hey, there's damage on the track. You can't go that direction. And they're having to deal with where do we go and what do we do next? So you can see there's a little bit of like, it's on a railroad line. That's probably where you're supposed to arrive. But it is far enough away that this is like slightly secluded from that. So it is Eileen, like thinking tactically, as you are wont to do, this is a defensible location. And pretty well set up for you can kind of see the a little bit of that sense of a sanctuary and a place hidden from scrutiny and interference from the outside world out here. Meanwhile, as you're perched up on the Widow's Walk, up at the top of the house, Juniper, you're wandering aimlessly. Give me a perception alertness roll. Diff 6. They're trying to be quiet, but they're not good at it. One of them's not good at it right now. Ooh.
-1.
That's beautiful. Okay, you did have a 10 in there, so it's not...
Yeah, it's just a failure.
It's just a failure. Okay. Yeah, you are wandering aimlessly, and in this wandering, are you trying to stay within the, like, you had come in from the outside, and I think Juniper had, like, pointed out, you know, like, you saw the point where Juniper, like, stopped and gave, like, a, like, welcome, declaring who we are kind of greeting howl. So you would know, like, at least a little bit of where a boundary might be. Are you ignoring that or just kind of staying within the farm?
She is just wandering.
Okay.
She's not trying to stay within anything. She's not thinking. She doesn't care. She is just wandering like a zombie.
Okay, excellent. You begin wandering and find yourself headed out through the... Do you think you're trying to stay away from... There are like roads and stuff on here. Would you be just ignoring that, kind of going whichever direction, trying to go any place in particular?
Not really ignoring anything.
Okay.
But she's not gonna try to aim for a road.
Okay.
But if one's there and she's on it, she'll walk. But
okay. So you end up on a track out who knows where. You don't know where this goes. You're just like, you like crossed it, and then we're like, well, I guess I'll go. This is downhill. That seems good. You don't have to deal with gravity as much when you're going downhill in the same way. And in this kind of fugue state, you pass a woman in a very garish orange bonnet, headed the opposite direction into the farm, though you do not know that at this point, who passes you and then stops and turns around and says, "Oh my goodness, excuse me, dear, I think you might be wandering a little far afield."
Ignores her. Keeps going.
Hi, hello. Excuse me. There's the sound of footsteps behind you on this dirt track. It's crunching.
Sighs, stops, picks a new direction.
Okay. All right. We got a wanderer. Oh goodness. All right. She's gonna keep following you. Are you trying to outpace this woman? She is in a full, long, like down to the ankles skirt. Carrying a basket over one arm. Seems
She is gonna shift into lupus and run off.
okay. Which direction? Give me 1, 2, 3.
3.
4 would be back away. Was that
3?
3? Okay, you begin running. There is a swear word from behind you. It's surprisingly foul. Did not expect that word to come out of this woman. And you quickly leave her behind. There is not the sound running after you. As you pass the same spot you entered this farm about 10 minutes later. Actually, 5 minutes. You're in Lupus.
Wait, there is or there isn't a sound running after me?
No, there is not.
There isn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
She doesn't sound like she's running after you, but you did just pass your fairly certain the exact same building that you passed to get in here. You're back on the farm. It's a house and a little rise in the distance. Sound of wolves. It's very nice. Idyllic. Chirping of birds who seem quite disturbed.
She growls. She'll just continue walking. She's in Lupus. She's gonna walk around, just around the farm, I guess.
Okay.
Here I am.
You run into at this point, I think, despite the remarkable athletics, Alexis, you are getting winded.
Keeping of course. I'm a kinfolk, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dapple, you can choose to slow down or just keep going. You can tell that.
She'll slow.
Okay. You see Juniper wandering as a wolf.
I just see new wolf. I just look over the one of
this wolf
sorry,
is missing.
Let me do that. Is that one of
Yes, that's Juniper.
all right. Raise a hand to wave.
Growls.
The wolf is growling at you. Generally not a good sign.
Nice to see you too. I'm not, there's no sense of like nervousness or fear or anything like that. Nice to see you too.
She'll stop. She's gonna.
She's sweet and listens, huh?
Dapple will come around from behind Alexis.
She's gonna shift back to Hamid. What roll do I need to make for that?
I
Stamina,
always
primal
forget.
urge.
Yeah. Stamina, primal urge, difficulties based on your form. So, trying to get Hamid from Beast, diff 6.
2 successes.
All right, you're in Krynos.
You can do it again if you want.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Yeah.
No, I'll do it again.
Alexis.
I'm not too worried. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You're a
So
kid,
we
you don't get
the
delirium.
camera does see not reacting as
Yep.
strongly as most people would. And then you get to Hamid Juniper second later.
there we are. Hey,
Hi.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to intrude. It's just waving.
Yeah. Sorry. Not in a good mood.
You're good. I know you guys have had the worst of days. I get it.
She'll look at Apple. What are we supposed to do now?
We wait until the evening, and then tonight we'll do the funeral.
Okay. What are we supposed to do here? And just gestures towards farm.
You know what? We haven't had a chance. I'm assuming that there's been a place prepped for them to stay
Yes.
stay at.
Absolutely.
We didn't get a chance for obvious reasons. So let me take you guys to where you'll be staying.
Who are you again?
I'm Alexis, kinfolk.
He's a friend.
Okay.
And you can take them. Alexis, there was some arguing about this, and a building kind of on a satellite building to the main house was set aside for Dapple and her pack.
Okay.
There was some discussion about they should stay in the house. It's lovely in the house, and some pushback from Clarence.
Ah,
But you find a nice little cottage. It's
Cool.
very cute, honestly. Is the vibe. Little tucked away. There's it's neat. This would probably be like the gardener's shed, kind of. Would be what Eileen would think of it. Eileen, you can see as from your perch up on the roof as your pack gets closer and kind of veers off toward this building, if you would like to come down or not.
I think as she just kind of watches them like walking by beneath from the Widow's Walk, I think she sort of leans, assuming there's a railing up here.
Yes.
I think she sort of leans on the railing and reaches into her spider satchel and pulls out a thing that she has left in there for probably longer than she's been in London. As she pulls out this like old wooden full bent pipe. It belonged to her father before she left. And she's never really been a smoker in her entire life, but I think at this point she kind of pulls out some dried tobacco, stuffs the pipe, and lights it.
Yes. I have a quick question on this pipe. Did you steal it when you left?
Absolutely, she stole it from her dad.
Excellent, beautiful. I just wanted to check to see if it was a gift or not. I love it. Okay.
She like I said, she's never really been a smoker. She didn't really like steal it for any purpose other than to steal it.
Yeah.
Other than fuck you.
Yeah. But I think she just like stuffs it, lights it, starts to drag on it for a minute while she watches everything play out beneath her.
Okay.
Yeah, take him to the cottage.
Mhm.
Like, here you are. Obviously, you're not confined here, but if you want somewhere just to relax, this is where you're going to be staying. Dapple obviously knows the rules of the place.
Don't wander out around. Don't go near the village in wolf form at all.
Veil good.
Yep.
And look, I don't have anything real specific on my agenda right now, so if you need anything, I will hang around. If you guys need space and need to be with just each other, that is also fine too. I'm not trying to impose here or make you guys do anything. That's up to you guys.
Dapple goes and claims a bed.
So is this just, it's like a room with beds?
It's a bit more than rooms. It's rooms, and there's like a tiny like hearth, little bit of like seating area, but it's pretty small. Yes.
Okay. She's gonna go by the hearth and then pull out a book.
Okay.
And just say nothing and read.
All right. Is the same book you were reading before, or did you finish that one?
No, different book.
Okay.
So I picture on the train she was reading like Pride and Prejudice.
Excellent. Okay.
And now she's reading Frankenstein.
Okay. Excellent.
Love it.
Beautiful. About midday, unless anyone has anything else they're doing in between now and then. It'd be an hour or two.
Unless I'm going to give them space if but stay near.
Yeah. You can do
just
some
in
like
case
garden
anybody
work or
calls.
something.
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly. There's plenty. It's a farm. There's plenty to do in the vicinity of any particular place.
Yes, absolutely. But a couple hours pass, and there is a gentle knock on the door of the cottage.
Do I see who approaches? Because I
Yes.
see my side.
Clarence approaches. Dapple's
Okay.
father.
Yep.
He looks a little bit harried. He usually goes around in like some overalls and a jacket this time of year. Definitely just has a nightshirt on underneath the overalls. Like it was a unexpected wake up and rush dressing. He's not recovered from that. There's a nightcap stuffed in the front pocket, folded up. It's a little bobble hanging out.
I will just give him a little wave. Just go over and say, hey, there. Just so you know, it's they're a little bit
Yeah.
on edge.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yep.
I have to go check on her though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Knock, knock, knock on the door. The cottage is small. Everyone can hear this. Who's in there?
Yep. Dapple will go and let him in.
Hey, he's going to give you a big bear hug as soon as he sees you.
She would have returned to Hamid form when she heard her father's voice in the other room.
Yeah.
Like, I know how this goes. Dad, it's good to see you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Juniper and Alexis would see this. Dapple just crumples into this man's arms like a child.
And he leans and like supports you in this. Like becomes that like supportive to get you through this.
After probably 5 minutes of
Patting the
just
back.
straight crying and attempting not to just death wail, she gets herself back under control. Aoife meant a lot, and I actually need to talk to Mum again about I'd like to give her a proper send off tonight.
Okay. Aunt Cecilia told me.
Yeah.
I talked to her. But
I'll do better tonight.
hey, listen. It's not going to be perfect.
No.
But you'll have a whole lifetime to get there. Or as close as you want to. I yell at her a little bit. He gives you a squeeze. Tiny smidgen.
I'm sorry, I completely forgot my manners. And she'll look out to like see what Juniper's doing.
Reading.
The young lady over there who's currently reading by the hearth is Juniper.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you, Juniper. I'm Clarence, Dapple's father.
Shimon.
Not looking away from the book at all.
Mm-mm.
Perfect. Okay. And the one on the roof, I think I don't recognize her.
That would be Eileen.
Okay.
Eileen is wild.
Yeah. I think she scared off half of the birds. They'll come back.
They'll come back eventually.
It'll make, you know, the pups who like to try and catch them, it'll make that harder. It's good practice for them, probably.
Dapple just staring at the ground, knowing full well that she was one of those pups.
Yeah.
I mean, when you like, I'm pretty certain everyone across the air, because this is a wide open area. I'm pretty certain everyone heard 36 repeated.
Yeah.
In rapid succession.
Also, the birds that decide to hang out around a place like this, those birds got issues before they start sensing the predators. Because they chose to be here.
They maybe have to import new ones, like, on a fairly regular basis.
They're just traumatizing the entire bird population of Europe.
You get some really aggressive starlings who think, oh, I can take a werewolf. I can do that. Sort of puff up.
Doesn't the equivalent of the guy who thinks he can handle a gorilla.
Yeah, uh-huh. Some of them escape, and then they get faster and faster. Evolution.
Oh.
They're idiots. All right. Bird brains. He says, okay. Do you want me to, like, you gonna come up to the house, or I can, like, tell her to go meet you wherever. She's
Um,
pretty busy in the Grove right now, like getting everything set up,
I may have
supervising,
to.
you know.
It might just be easier for me to go and talk to her.
Okay.
Shudders.
Well, she's there now. She's gonna take a late lunch, you know.
Barring all of the circumstances, it is really good to see you, Dad.
Absolutely. I hope London seems to have been good for you.
It's very loud. and
Yeah? Yeah. It's getting bigger and bigger, too, I hear. The
It-
newspapers. We get them still, you know.
It seems like every day the inhabitants get smaller and smaller.
Hmm.
The buildings just keep getting larger.
An interesting way to put it. I like it. All right. You've got it, kid. Just gonna give you a pat on the back.
Apple's just gonna walk out and head towards the grove.
Okay. Clarence, what's he gonna do now? Where's he gonna go? Is he gonna stay there? You seem very into your book. Okay, excellent. Clarence is going to say to Juniper, do you want me to have lunch sent out here? Are you hungry? Or I could bring something. Or there's a spread out the back, and he'll like indicate kind of out one of the windows. Anyone can show you. But
To look up from her book for a moment. And she has a look on her face like she hadn't even thought about food.
mm-hmm.
Not hungry. Fine.
Okay. And he will head out. Meanwhile, Alexis,
Yep.
you're
I'm
climbing.
making my way up to the
Yeah.
perch.
You do not have to climb on the outside like Eileen did. There is stairs up to
Right.
this from the inside.
Like a normal person.
Exactly.
Eileen gets
Yep.
places without being seen. That's what she does.
So behind you, Eileen, a door opens.
Hey, Rhea. Everything all right?
Alexis, right?
Correct.
Could be worse, all things considered.
I suppose technically that's true. If you don't mind me asking, I know we've just met. Are you consciously underselling, or is that just happening out of the course of natural? I have ears. I heard gunshots, and I heard lots of them, and I know where the rest of your pack was, and very few people here have guns. So
I mean, I also directly asked you where something to shoot was before I left the barn.
I mean, I wasn't going to put that fine of a point on it, but yes.
She sort of looks down at the pipe that she's still holding. You ever smoked before?
My younger years, more foolish years, yes.
I don't really see the
I
point
haven't
in
in
it,
a while.
she says, looking down at the pipe. Da used to say it was a calming thing. She
Yeah.
sort of holds the pipe in her hand. Sure as fuck isn't doing that for me.
Well, that's because, and I'm going to actually, was your father trueborn or kin?
He's fucking nobody. I came out of nowhere.
Okay, that's fair. But the reason that I asked the question is you're people like you process everything quickly, shall we say.
I think werewolves like to say that.
I'm talking about physical, not emotional. Sorry, to be clear. You won't get the rush off smoking that a kinfolk would or a human. That's
No.
what I mean.
Frankly, I don't think either of my parents even knew they were kinfolk.
Fair enough. It's rare, but I've heard that it happens.
Irish well-to-dos, you know.
Right. Look, if you want your time, I will give it to you. I'm not trying to step on your toes here. But it's an instinct. I see someone who is struggling. I want to see if there's anything I can do, particularly if it's a member of Dapple's pack. Most Trueborn, honestly, really, that's just how I'm built and it's how I was raised. But this more so.
Is that how you see me then? Just a member of your childhood friend's pack.
I've known you for approximately, for the amount of time that we've spent in each other's presence, 17 minutes. So yes, that's how I see you right now. I'm sure there's a multitude to you. That's what I know so far. Well, that and Shadow Lord and blah blah, etc.
All right, I'm game. What do you have in mind?
I was asking you. Is there anything you need?
Kind of...
I don't know if you got your aggression worked out. I don't know if you just need someone you can talk to who doesn't necessarily have a position one way or the other, who you know isn't necessarily going to isn't gonna coddle and try and make you say things like everything's okay, but also isn't going to pile on or whatever the case may be. If you need something,
She kind of puts the pipe into her mouth and sort of turns around and leans both elbows back on the rail. You know, you knew ahead of time that I was a Shadow Lord, and you walked up here alone on this roof with me.
It's a real short railing.
I sure do. I sure did.
According to the rumors about Shadow Lords, kinfolk have disappeared under far more obvious circumstances.
I'm not worried. For a few reasons, but notably, my mother had 2 Shadow Lords in her pack. I'm not concerned about what they say about Shadow Lords. I'm sure there's a reason stereotypes exist, and I'm sure there's absolutely an element, but also there's no value in you murdering me up here right now. So why would a Shadow Lord do it?
Get the aggression out, like you said. The kinfolk's expendable, according to most.
There are a number of ways that you can get your aggression out that won't potentially get you and your rest of your pack in trouble.
Hmm?
This is a Black Fury homestead. We're not expendable here. This isn't a Shadow Lord one.
To be honest, I don't really give a shite what people say about the Shadow Lords either, and I really don't give a shite what the Shadow Lords say about me.
What do they say about you? I don't care. I'm just curious.
In many ways, that I take a too human approach to things. I'm more concerned with where dangerous elements move in the grounds where werewolves don't already have their hands everywhere.
Mhm.
And that can make certain people feel like I'm ignoring our traditional stomping grounds and the things we're normally supposed to do, but my approach is usually that you've already got that fucking shit covered.
Fair.
Meanwhile, there's silver bullets and silver weapons moving all over the black markets, and no one's around to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that's real bad.
And who knows what else dark shit moves around in the places where the werewolves are too proud to stick their noses.
A lot of bad stuff. That's what, honestly, most of you don't realize. That's what a lot of us do. Not me.
Maybe that's why they don't like me. I'm a werewolf doing the job that would most be considered for kinfolk.
Probably that's probably accurate. Yeah, to be clear, I don't do that because I cannot lie to save my life. But there are people that do. Anyway, enough about what your tribe thinks of you. You can only expertly dodge the question, "What do you need?" for so long before I'm gonna press it.
Not so much dodging, so much as buying time for me to even think of how I can answer that.
That's fair. Oh, dodge, but that's fair. There are valid reasons to dodge. A bullet coming at you, for example.
I think at this point I need this shit to be done with.
Well, that you're gonna have to wait until tonight. There are things they're doing the preparations now.
Yeah, you'll forgive if I've got a little bit of a sour disposition about this entire place, considering the invitation to come here took my closest friend from me.
It is entirely understandable, and I'm sorry for that. I might suggest if there's nothing that I can potentially do for you, there might be something that you can do. Your pack's not doing very well right now, and you're all went to your own little corners and are suffering individually alone in silence. I think you all need each other. Just my observation. Take it for what it is. I don't know how your pack works. I just know how the packs I've seen work.
Maybe you got a point. But frankly, I don't know if the energy that I'm carrying right now is going to be helpful to either of the other two. And Wolfric, I mean, I can hardly tell what he's feeling from day one. But
He wandered off somewhere. I can't find him. I can find you. Um, you might not be carrying the best energy right now, but it's not all that you are. And you're also carrying familiar energy for them. You're probably thinking the same thing the rest of them are. And being a kinfolk, I can't literally pick you all up and put you in the same room. Well, I can, most of you, but then you can shift into Krynos, and then I definitely can't pick you all up. I'm fit, but I'm not that fit. But I can be an annoying and poke and prod until either you do or I have to do some dodging, which I'm okay with doing some dodging.
all right, time to do what they pay me for. And she doesn't even bother going down the stairs. She literally just hauls herself off the side of the building and drops to the ground floor.
Yep, I'm staying up there.
All right.
The pack needs pack time.
Yeah. And that's where we're gonna take our break. Stand up, stretch your legs, go have some pack time. We'll come back shortly after this short break.
We're back.
A dinosaur story.
No.
I'm just watching the cat jail. I need to
Lay
concentrate.
down.
Okay.
A Bastet story.
There we go. There will be some Farah in here shortly. Don't worry. A as Eileen vaults down off of the roof to go speak with her packmates. Or Dapple, you head
Mhm.
to the Grove.
I do.
Yeah. There are it's a little bit of a downhill slope. There is a small pond and a whole bunch of weeping willows. And you can see a lot of hustle and bustle of folks who part very like silently and just sort of like nod in your direction as you approach. But in the middle of the grove area is your mother setting up kind of her rituals as a theurge for this event tonight. It's not something you can't like walk into and would break or damage by doing so to approach her there.
River's current Raya.
Daughter. She turns and looks at you. She's changed by this point into sort of work clothes, essentially. She'll probably get done up in like theurge, like ritual robes type of thing later, but right now she's just wearing trousers and a shirt tucked in. That's got smudges of dirt everywhere.
I'd like permission to make a request.
Make it.
I wish to give the eulogy for Aether tonight.
Excellent. Good.
Her story needs told in a much more dramatic fashion.
Yes. You will tell it well, since you know her. New.
That Dapple will just sketch a bow and turn and exit the grove.
How has London been? She'll call like as you turn to leave.
She'll freeze. It's honestly been quite a lot, if I'm being straightforward. It's loud and large and constantly reeks, and I can still smell it on my hair and my clothes.
Caffeinous. Hated it there.
It's unending. But I will say that the culture is progressive or at least attempting, and there's a lot of change happening in London. I've joined protests, and I have been a very avid freedom fighter for women's rights in as many as I could.
Good. I've heard.
Right, your eyes and ears all
You're very aware. I wanted to know how you've been, that you're doing all right there.
And what exactly have you heard?
That you did you get arrested? I don't remember. We talked about this like after the explosion at
No, because
the
no,
Molotov
there was no evidence
cocktailing
to
of
trace
the,
to anyone because
Yeah.
we had dropped
Yeah.
the bombs from the Umbra.
Mhm. Okay. But you had been arrested like at protests before, I think. Once or
Once.
twice. Yeah. Okay. That you got arrested. Our sisters also did, of course.
Yeah, Devil is just beaming with pride at that, and
She
and
smiles
smiling
at
that.
you. Yeah.
It was wonderful, if I'm being completely honest.
Shaking things
Though
up.
having to play the weakling is getting old hat, I think is the phrase.
Yes. Oh. Cecilia does insist that that is what we need to do here, but
Change is hard.
you'll make it come.
One day.
I wanted to. I know you've. There was the incident in the theater, and you could
Yes.
probably fit this under a skirt. And she pulls out a bow and hands it to you. Holds it out to you.
Yeah, she'll take it.
Give me a, hang on, let me find the information. It's Gnosis 5. How do these work again? I should have looked at this. Did I? No, absolutely not.
Gnosis is
Gnosis roll, difficulty. Give me a Gnosis roll, difficulty 5. You need to get a success.
A success.
There you go. You take this bow from your mother. It is old looking and worn, like a piece of driftwood. The wood is darkened, but there is silver. I don't know what you'd call that. Silver inlay on the tips where the bowstring attaches. And as you grab it, you feel you have had this described to you, and you have, as a little girl, been like allowed to hold your when, well, not a little girl, as like a young just had your first change cub, were given to hold your mother's labrys, as she explained sort of your role and this new world that you found yourself suddenly thrust in, that was so much more complicated than the wolf, than that simplicity of just running and fighting and being with your sisters and your kin. But you have been given a bow of Artemis. It is, I will put this in, let me see, let me copy. Hopefully this will copy the text. Let me put it in Slack for you here. Does it? Yes, I think that does. It's a fetish that you are now attuned to. And you know the importance of this type of object.
There must be some mistake. There's why are you giving this to me?
I have expectations, and I know I put a lot on you, and you can see as she's like saying you have like eavesdropped probably on your parents before, like they have these sort of arguments, and you know that is like a phrase from your father, like directly. But you can tell that it is like, as she continues on, those are there because I know you can rise up to them.
Also, she can't use it anymore because she's not a maiden anymore.
This is true.
Thank you. Truly.
And I think you'll wield it well. And if you don't, pass it on.
Understood. Thank you, Mom.
Gonna reach up and ruffle your hair.
I can't say London's been entirely bad. I have enjoyed getting to know my pack, and I've enjoyed the new. There's so much to learn, and there's so much to take in. There's always something I don't understand, and I get the chance to learn every day.
Question everything. Your aunt's friend, in air quotes, Lillian, has walked in at this moment, carrying a sandwich wrapped in paper, and holding a flask, which is probably, it has some alcohol in it, alcohol-laced liquid. You can tell that she's here to force your mother to take a break and get some food in her.
Dapple doesn't want to be around for that fight, so is gonna exit the grove.
Okay.
And head back towards where she last. She doesn't know where Eileen is. She knows where Juniper is, so she's gonna go
head back.
Head back
to the cottage.
The cottage.
All right.
Definitely don't want to be there for the makeup after the fight.
Oh, no. Lillian and Cecilia are together.
Sorry.
Not River's Current. It's not that much of a lesbian orgy. Not that level.
That's saved for special occasions is what
exactly.
I'm hearing.
Yes. This is a solemn occasion. There's a funeral. Have some respect.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We reserve that for Maybon. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, Eileen, you head into the cottage. Dapple, I think you'll probably be arriving back. I'm trying to think of when things happened. You'll arrive back like into this conversation, whatever happens, but in a little while, whenever you want to. Meanwhile, Eileen,
Eileen walks into the cottage.
Cute little
sees
cottage.
Juniper sitting by the hearth reading.
That hearth is not lit.
Yeah. She walks over, grabs a chair, sits directly across from Juniper, looks at her, waits to see if she reacts at all.
She won't. You got to talk to her.
Yeah. So she sort of talk to me.
About what?
Literally anything.
Okay, are you getting a weird vibe from this place?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
Have you eaten the food or had anything to drink? Don't worry about it.
I don't know what to say.
What's on your mind?
Aoife's gone, and why are we even here?
At the moment, to send Aoife off and satisfy whatever curiosity Dapple's mother has for the rest of us.
None of these people knew her, though.
No, but we did. And we're not just going to leave her here.
No, but like, should we take her body back to London?
She fucking hated it there.
Yeah, okay. I don't know, okay? I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I just...
This isn't a situation of supposed tos.
How are you doing? You knew her better than we did.
Fucking pissed. There's a lot going on, but eh. It's Eva wouldn't want us to be sitting here bemoaning our fates over this.
Probably not, no.
In fact, I know for certain that if her ghost was still hanging around me, I'd be getting kicked upside the head.
You don't think that's happened? It just you can't feel it.
Then what would she want us to do now?
Keep fighting, keep doing our jobs.
I mean, right now we're not fighting anything. We're just here.
No, but maybe this is a chance to reassess why we fight, what we fight for. Out here, you can see the nature as it's supposed to be.
I guess. I prefer London.
Interesting outlook. Especially for... You're a lupus, aren't you?
Metis.
No, you're Metis, right? Yeah. All right. Especially for someone who's probably not had the best of reputations in London.
It was better than when I was outside of London.
I mean, that seems like your old pack's fault more than anything else.
She'll just shrug.
I think this is when Dapple walks in,
Mhm.
still
Alright.
holding that bow.
All right, come here. Aoife says as she, or Aoife, Eileen says as she holds out a hand to Juniper, and she looks over at Dapple. You too.
Dapple will come over.
Reluctantly put the book down.
She's just holding out a hand to both of you,
Take it.
Take.
and she kind of looks down her nose and stares into the mirror shades that she's been wearing. All right, let's do this the right way, and she's going to activate the mirror shades.
Yes.
Excellent.
Or Gnosis 7.
Oh
not a botch.
no!
It's not a
Yes,
botch.
it's not good.
I mean, not activating the mirror shades just means either A, you spend
Yeah.
a point of gnosis to do
Yeah,
it.
I will
Mhm.
spend a point of Gnosis to make them turn on.
Yeah. Absolutely. And oh
and that
goodness,
makes the gauntlet 2 lighter.
Yes, and it is.
And even if you fail, it's not like it makes it harder to cross the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Where is that in this book? Let me see. Not there. Okay, we are in the rural countryside, so it's diff 6, so -2, diff 4.
I put a willpower into this just so I can't fail it.
Yep.
Good.
Hey.
And 3 is instant.
Whoop.
So yeah, so she looks into the mirror shades, and then there's just a popping noise as the 3 of them find themselves on the other side of the gauntlet.
Yes. In a wilder area than you left. No sign of the cottage around you. It is, there are like stones laid out in a pattern. Actually, I'll have everyone give me an intelligence and occult roll. Difficulty 7, because this is a pretty diff 8 actually. Complicated spell. Diff 7 for Dapple.
Jesus Christ.
Oh goodness.
Eileen doesn't know shit.
Absolutely not. Some rocks. Juniper. Excellent.
Good Lord, Shawnee.
All right.
Stop
Dap-
stealing my vibe.
Stop being dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Aoife died. The curse has been passed on.
There we
That's
go.
actually really fair.
Dapple, you don't know exactly how these work, but you know that anywhere you cross to in the Umbra within like the farm has stones like this. Juniper, you are you have as you look down at these, you can see threads of runes and bindings within these stones, which are kind of like laying out basically the outline of the foundation of the cottage you were in. You can kind of look over a rolling hill and see similar ones that kind of look like they might be the house. These are protective spells. You see a very subtle sort of protection kind of magic. You aren't really certain of the details or how it all works. You are not a theurge, but this is impressive magic that you are seeing in the ground here. But you are all on the other side.
As
And you can-
as they come into the near Umbra, she'll sort of look around. This is where Aoife always felt more at home. This is what she was fighting for, the protection of this place and places like it. So if we're gonna remember her properly, we need to remember why she fought and what she fought for.
And the last time you all were here was under her guidance.
Dapple goes into lupus form. And just it sits down and just keening howl.
Mm-hmm. Give me a charisma and performance. I think there's usually a penalty on this for in lupus form, but that's going to be negated. So add a +3 to your roll. Because you're using the lupus's natural.
The beast provides a -3 to manipulation, not charisma.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
One success.
It's a howl. It's raw more than anything polished or considered.
Difficulty. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
one success.
It would be diff 6. Yeah.
That doesn't change anything. But yeah. 1.
And the rest of you feel the pain. Are you trying to do anything else with the howl?
Galliards can use their howls to tell stories. She's telling Aoife's tale through her howl.
Okay.
The reason she's doing it here is she's telling the story to the Umbra.
Mm-hmm. As these howls echo and roll across the umbra a familiar figure in flight comes soaring over the horizon and gently lands in the middle of the circle that had been formed by all of you linking hands on the other side. And your Stormcrow totem kind of stands in the middle and stretches out its wings and puffs up with sort of this crackling kind of energy that you have seen it bring in the stressful situations that you all have been through together.
Eileen just kind of finds an upraised rock to sort of sit down on. And she shrinks down to Hamid, and once again, the coat and hat are too big in her Hamid form, and she just kind of pulls the coat in like a blanket.
Juniper sits down next to Dapple. Just listens.
When
go ahead.
When Dapple finishes, she is well, let's see if I can do it first. I forget the difficulty to okay. Yeah, okay. Shift back to Hamid form.
Well, that'll get you to cry.
Or the Krynos, yeah.
Yep.
Then, there we go.
Yeah, now you're an hobbit.
And she will wrap an arm around Juniper's shoulder.
Eileen, you're sitting a little ways back. You had to find a pointy rock to sit on.
Yeah. And her hair kind of spills out. That long black hair is normally tucked under the hat.
Mm-hmm.
As the hat sort of sits kind of crooked on her face.
We shouldn't be this side too long. We don't know how. If we miss the funeral.
Well, fortunately, from what little I learned from Aoife in that regard, the time dilation of the near Umbra is relatively small. You won't see that much difference. It's when you get into the deep Umbra that days can turn into months and weeks.
But then... and then Dapple, like, looks around. Ah, shite, it's not dedicated.
Well, actually, if you use the bow, the instant you tuned yourself,
yeah, the bow
it became dedicated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have their own gnosis, so they do that on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So she will pick up the bow. It doesn't have any arrows for it yet, but just will test the draw strength and everything.
Mm-hmm. It feels good. It's hard to pull back. We'll take practice.
I was given a gift by Mum.
It suits you. You probably have to get used to it, but...
It's my first time using any kind of a weapon, yeah.
You're gonna swear the vow of eternal maidenhood, be a hunter of Artemis?
I don't know if raising pups really suits me, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like, well, if I'm being frank, I think my Aunt Lillian and her lover have the right idea, though the marriage thing, not really.
I can have a bit of fun both sides of the aisle, though I will admit to having a bit of a preference towards our own fairer kind as well.
This is what Aoife would have wanted. This is beautiful.
just random talks about romance and sex on the other side. On the other side of the
100%, yeah.
At the funeral, yeah.
This is absolutely, this is 100% her vibe.
I just needed to point it out.
The only thing we're missing is like some mind-altering drugs.
Yep.
Oh wait, hang on. 1 second. As you all kind of
as Mara says, let me fix that.
Exactly. I'm here to give emotional trauma and also all of your wishes.
Drugs.
In equal order. The sound of soft footfalls on like mossy ground are circling, and Dapple, you are the only one who can see this fully. The rest of you, It just sounds like rock shifting, the ground here sighing and participating essentially in the rite, the funeral happening here. Dapple, you see a as the sky, which is pretty featureless here, sort of pales, and then a velvety, inky, blue black mist begins rising and forms slowly like a wave gathering steam into a winged horse with stars in its coat and dew misted diamonds refracting into tiny rainbows on the edges of a mane decked out in flowers. Morning glories.
Yeah, Dapple's
Of
eyes are
course.
about yay big. Just
Well, it's not unicorn, but Pegasus is a close relation.
Pegasus.
Yeah.
Sort of continues circling and nods and dips a head.
Dapple will return the gesture.
And it comes closer. He comes closer and nudges a warm, fuzzy nose into your hand.
And she'll pet.
Yep. It requests a gift of Gnosis in exchange for something.
Yeah. Dapple has. I still wait. That should be. It has 3 Gnosis.
All right, spend one of those, and you have now gained Wild Resurgence.
Fantastic.
And as you feel that spiritual energy in an exchange of equals pass between you and the spirit, it moves through you and vanishes off the other side, leaving flower petals. They look tasty.
Yeah, just gonna.
Oh, look, it's a lotus.
Yeah, just pop.
It's real good. Give me, everyone who wants to partake, a stamina. What even would that be?
I mean, straight stamina.
I think it's
Well-
just straight stamina, yeah.
Yeah.
Difficulty of 7. You're taking drugs in the Umbra.
Yeah. Eileen will hold one up to Juniper. It's like, all right, let's get fucked up.
It's what she would have wanted.
That's what she would have wanted.
It absolutely is what she would have wanted.
I can hear
Is it
her
your 7?
rolling. I can hear her laughing in the afterlife right now about this.
And you all have a rather pleasant time here. But eventually, Dapple, you can tell that the night rolling in around you is possibly doing the same on the other side.
It
Should
might
probably
be
check
time
in.
to return.
All right, let's head back. She'll hold out her hands for everyone else to take.
Yep.
Same difficulty of Gnosis.
Yes.
Boom.
Easier. Drugs are helping with this. You slip sideways and tumble back into reality, where night has indeed fallen and you all can feel that tug of the moon on your souls. And there are lights streaming from not just the house, but the surrounding fields. And Dapple, you can tell, having lived here for most of your life, everyone's coming to this.
As a heads up, there's going to be a lot more wolves here than you think.
All right,
You all head down.
let's go.
Alexis, would you have
Yep.
stayed waiting? You would have seen kind of keeping your watch on the
Right.
outside, the group gathering inside, but they haven't come out yet. Would you have headed down there kind of, or waited for your old friend?
I, excuse me. I think that you probably would have waited, because he's sure that they're not going to miss this.
Yes. This is very fair.
Yeah,
So,
they're
yeah.
not gonna miss this.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
And if,
And they,
and worse comes to worse, if they do, he would never say this, but this is somebody he didn't know.
yep.
Like, the living are more important to him than the dead.
Yep, absolutely. So right when you're maybe getting a little concerned, not that you're going to miss the event, but that your friend who
Right.
would really want to be here, you think, they all file out.
There you are.
Hi.
I get like a perception.
The buzz
I
is
don't
still
know.
there.
Medicine, empathy.
Yeah. You can do empathy or medicine. I think either of these would apply. If it's
I'm gonna-
empathy, it would be perception empathy.
Right.
Or perception empathy. If it's medicine, that's going to be an intelligence medicine.
I'm going to roll perception empathy because I'm
Okay.
much better at that. Specialty of emotional states.
Hell yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. 6 successes.
Beautiful. Would you like to describe the emotional state?
So
Alexis goes, "Oh shit, you're all stoned as fuck."
yeah, it is. Dapple is like very calm, very, very, you can't tell she's stoned if you're not looking at her face.
Right.
But definitely just like mentally stuck in between two worlds currently.
Right.
Like
There's a little bit of lag.
Dapple has the transposed onto a human face the expression of dopey wolf.
Little bit.
Juniper just stares at him. Who are you again?
I'm Alexis.
To be fair, I think she would have said
Maria.
that whether or not she'd had any.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about that.
Alexis,
Yes,
I met
I'm not
Pegasus.
Cool. Very cool.
She happened to leave a little bit of Lotus for us, so
That makes sense.
it was a proper remembrance of our friend.
I'm not worried about it, to be clear. I was just cool. Well, we should head down. They're gonna be
Right, funeral. Oh,
Yes.
I have to give a eulogy. Oh,
It's fine.
it's fine.
Lotus is a relaxant. It should help.
This means you're not nervous.
It's true.
Lotus helps with anxiety. And, funnily enough, side effect, very good aphrodisiac.
I don't know what that word means.
Tell you later.
Love potion.
Oh,
That's. I don't think love's got anything to do with it, but yeah.
I'm being appropriate. Yeah.
This is Aoife's funeral. Appropriate definitely has no place here.
All right. Fair enough. Good to know.
What's up with the moon?
I would love to find a way to work that into the eulogy, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I hope you do. That was one of her proudest moments.
I mean, I feel like that's a legend that should be spread far and wide. So yes.
As you all make your way.
Somewhere Apha's ghost says, yes, like I was.
As you all make your way down into the grove that we saw earlier in the daylight, now transformed into a sea of people with candles, lanterns, all sorts of different lit objects. Dapple, Alexis, there are people here you do not recognize. It looks like the entire surrounding, like anyone within a day's distance, basically, of the farm who might be interested has been invited.
Basically, since she left the cottage, Eileen has been back in Glabro. Though for this particular instance, she has left her hair down.
Okay. Some of the people are surrounded slightly by kinfolk, various responsible people, just keeping an eye on, the guests who might do something stupid. But it is not a sense of like danger or trepidation. It's more precautionary. And wanting this to be a proper send-off. There is a little bit of a party atmosphere starting on the edges, but mostly it is clustered and anticipatory around the center where Apha's body is laid out, covered in a cloth shroud, and your mother, Dapple, on the other side, who, seeing you walking down with your pack, kind of bows her head slightly, indicates a place at the apex of the kind of circle here of a couple of the folks gathered near her are Theurges, and some other galliards that your mother has introduced you to very briefly.
She'll give a heads up to her packmates and then head that way.
All right. And the crowds part for you all. And let's see here. And your mother leans over and says, I'll start the rite, and then the floor will be yours.
Do you want it done in howl or?
What would she want? What do you want?
Dapple just kind of she looks at her mom, sighs, and goes into lupus form.
Okay.
The sigh is because she thinks this is not what her mother would do, but this is what she would do.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That is accurate. All right. As she begins the gathering for the departed. And stands and says, this is a funeral for Aoife, daughter of Hecate. Member of my daughter's pack. We grieve with our sister. And her sisters by choice. And brothers. And all who are gathered here. Tell the people what greatness they have lost today. And she will indicate you, Dapple.
Okay. So the thing that I'm planning on surprising her with.
Yes.
First, cool. I'm using my I'm manipulating so that I can talk common in this form.
Yep.
And she sits in front of the crowd. My name is Dapple. Many of you here have grown up with me and known me, and have gotten to know that I have a deep, deep depth of love to give. And Aoife, my friend, my first companion in London, I wish you nothing more than a great send-off to the afterlife. You did many things in your life, and for someone who was cursed to see the world as dying and as it truly is, you got to glimpse Gaia in its truest form, unfortunately. Your magics and your teachings helped so many people in London, even if you sold a cursed item or two.
17.
Or 17. Your duty to Gaia was at the forefront of your mind until the end. You taught me how to be slightly more human. And for a woman who can hang her hat on many achievements, I would say sleeping with the moon has to rank up there amongst the legends. So I invite...
Eileen like watches the other Galliards' faces for the twitch of trying to keep their composure at that.
Yeah. Yep. There's a twitch, and then outside of the circle of elders and like people trying to be composed and regal kind of thing. There are some hollers and whoops of appreciation and yes, excellent from the crowd. Carry on.
I ask all of you to join me in one last commemorating howl as we send Aoife off to join the rest of our fallen sisters and brethren in the memory lands. And she will howl.
All right. Give me a charisma and expression. Diff 6. You can spend willpower on this.
Yeah, I'll spend one.
Okay.
2 successes.
All right.
Eileen will shift into Krynos to join in the howl as part of the pack.
Okay. Give me charisma and expression as well. I feel like this is a group. This can be a group effort.
Can Juniper do that as well?
Heck yes.
Difficulty?
Diff 6.
Another one?
All right.
So
5
between the three of us,
successes.
there are 5 total, yeah.
Yep. 5 successes as this voice of the Galliard is joined by her packmates. A chorus of howls, rage and sorrow and joy and a little bit of drunkenness mingle together in a chorus that celebrates and mourns the loss of one of the Guru Nation. And it spirals up toward a moon that winks slightly. Maybe it's a twinkling star or something. That's probably what that is. Rational minds would say, science-minded minds. But in this space, in a decidedly more magic-minded people, this descends as River's current closes this circle of energy brought by all of you and all of them here with a stamp of her Theurge's staff and the body of Aoife sinks into the ground and reunites with Gaia. And then the party starts.
I say, all right, you fuckers, now we're getting Irish about this.
Yep.
Here for this. Yeah.
What do you all do? Where does the what scenes do we see of you all as this funeral closes, continues? The following morning, the sadness will still be there, but you have laid your packmate to rest.
I mean, I don't think that there is I don't think that there's a chance that Eileen at one point is not leading drunken Irish wake songs
Excellent.
among
Beautiful.
whoever will join in.
Hell yes. You will definitely get participation.
I think Dapple spends a good bit of time. She would have felt the like burning glares of the galliards, knowing that they weren't allowed to react. So would have went over and shared stories while indulging in drinks. That's what Dapple would be doing tonight, is spreading the tales of Aoife's life.
Excellent. Yes, you get pestered for details. They wanna know what the heck you're referring to. And you can see the like gears turning of like, okay, I can spin. I'm gonna spin it this way. Like you're a little bit. I think this. How much practicing or like teaching with other Galliards do you think Dapple has had?
I don't think much. I think she was more concerned about like, yes, I understand my like role in Garu society. Please tell me how to like go to a lunch and not look like an idiot.
Yeah, much more concerned with the human.
Yeah, like I don't know how to properly walk in shoes. Please give me directions on how to be a person.
Yeah. And in this, I think this is maybe the first like Galliard to Galliard like shop talking you might have experienced, and it is very in this place and right now very comfortable because you are speaking with people who are like not all lupus, but like similarly like comfortable wanting to be and shift into and out of all of the Garu forms. So you are not being, and you don't have to follow table manners here. This is not a table manners setting. This is an outdoor funeral wake.
No, Dapple 100% will be eating stuff off the ground. Like,
absolutely allowed.
Or even Garu.
Fuck your tables.
They're even Garu and Hispo, the black sheep of the werewolf forms.
Yeah.
No one uses Hispo.
You want to bet that? I know people call Rhinos the combat form, and
Hispo's terrifying in combat.
Oh, yeah, Hispo's bite is actually like more terrifying than Krynos' bite. Yes.
Yeah.
It is the I'm going to murder you form.
Hispo is just like the form you see the least.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Alexis is absolutely plain sober brother, and pseudo bouncer, for lack of a better way to put it. Like things get too rowdy, he goes in and breaks it up, and it doesn't matter if it's a Guru who's the one that's being rowdy. At least one Guru gets put on their ass at some point in the night. Not like punched or anything, just like thrown over the shoulder and then sent to go walk it off.
Yep.
But mostly keeping near this group as best possible, because they're the people who need to be made sure they're okay.
Is there any like dancing happening?
Yes.
So at one point, Juniper is just gonna grab Alexis. And
we're doing this, okay. Yep.
And while she's doing it, she'll say, "Wait, who are you again?"
Doesn't matter, Rhea.
And as you,
at one point, he's gonna just start making up random names. I'm Steve. I'm Steve from Phoenix.
Delightful. And we fade to a starry night. The next morning dawns bright and way too bright and early. Depending on how much imbibing various people did, it's a slow start to the morning on the farm. There are definitely people.
Various renditions of Finnegan's Wake, The Parting Glass, and Unquiet Grave just sung throughout the night.
Yep. But the next morning dawns bright and early. You all find yourselves. I'm gonna imagine sort of in a puppy pile at some point during the night probably happened. It feels like you've all been staying fairly close together to each other. A rooster crows. That rooster's life might be cut short for this affront.
You sit up. I'm going to have to kill that bird.
Go hunting then, Eileen says, barely rolling over. I'm given to understand that was a pastime of yours as a kid.
Kid might be selling it a bit short. That was only a couple years ago.
You got to do.
I just casually walk by. Good morning, Riz.
Fully dressed, has been up for several hours.
I went to bed at I probably actually went to bed probably late, but still got up at a early time. Have already gotten my run in.
Dapple will get up. I should probably talk to Rivers Current and my father about what they actually wanted to see us for.
Axis, last night was a heck of a thing, and the beer and the Lotus were all running strong. Were you the lad I took to bed at one point?
No, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
On that note, just exit.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. All right, so here's the thing. When we get to those times, the amount of passes that I have to deal with are very high. So I can't say that there wasn't an attempt made, but I had responsibilities.
Fair enough. I can't remember their face at this point, so it really doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, it definitely wasn't me. They're around here somewhere. Just find the one who blushes when they see you, because they will remember. Happens at least once every week.
Yeah, well, there are people talking.
It's too loud.
Or Juniper, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I keep mixing up your characters. You're right in my camera view.
Yeah, Juniper just like mumbles something as I feel like there are people on top of her or something. Like she just fell asleep and became a bed for someone.
Eileen rolls over and scratches the top of Juniper's head. All right, Fuzzy, wake up.
You wake up.
You if you both want each other to wake up, I've got a jug of water here. I can make sure you guys wake up.
Don't even think about it, Eileen says as she starts to get up. Unheard, I'm sure, why not?
No,
But me.
Okay.
What?
Your pack member told me to. I'm not supposed to disobey the trueborn. said with a shit-eating grin.
I like you.
Thought we were bonding last night, whatever your name is.
You don't get to call us bonded until you can remember my name twice in a row.
There's an A in it.
That's good.
That's just math.
That's also kind of making his point, considering I said his name like 30 seconds ago.
I was asleep.
100%. Well, now you're awake.
Dapple, you were going to find your parents.
Mhm.
I believe. Back, you have to ask around a fair bit. There are people strewn sort of across the farm at this point. They're all still waking up in various states of consciousness. You get pointed to the not near the grove, kind of off by some of the fruit tree orchards. There's like apples and things like that. And you see them kind of like sitting. You're approaching from the back. You see like the back of their heads in a silhouette, as they are sort of look like they're sitting on the ground, sort of leaning against each other.
Can I hear anything between the two of them? Are they talking or?
No.
She'll clear her throat.
Actually, give me a to see, like, because it's a question of if you're trying to listen in on things. Be dexterity stealth. Diff 6.
Hold on just a second.
Yep.
So I was trying to get my attention and then anyway.
Okay. Dexterity stealth diff 6 to listen in.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, look at all of those ones.
Wow.
It's not a botch, though.
Oh,
There is
I'm also,
3 ones in
also not in the right form.
That would do it. Yeah, try again. I think that might help with it.
Let me do that again.
Now there's 6 successes. So we went, folks, from a -1 to 6 successes. As you are silent, like the wind. I don't even know if it's intentional or not, but you're walking quietly and just happen to overhear a fair bit of conversation as your river's current is sort of mumbling in his ear. He's just, I know, but what if, I mean, I gave her the bow, and she's going to be very good at using it, and she's going to learn, and this is how she learns, is going out and getting those experiences that she can't get here. It's a long sigh of weary resignation. I just feel more comfortable, I guess, if she had support, and you're doing that with emotional support. That one's more a frustrated kind of sigh. Like, emotional support is not your mother's forte. That one's harder. That one takes like work, and you have to think about it because
I have to
people are
try
so
with that.
exactly. It's so difficult. You can hear your parents, Dapple, having a little bit of a conversation about you, and your mother having her perennial concerns. You heard some of this same type of arguments when you were asking to be
leave.
sent to London.
Yeah.
And
So she'll just still having the same arguments, I see.
there's a jump. And your father does not respond. Your mother jumps. Your father just sort of like tilts his head back to see you and says, "Yep." Oh, how much did you hear of that? Never mind. Yes. He's very convincing.
Well, I do have to say I think I owe it to Dad that I'm actually out in London, as much as it's unnerving to you and as intimidating as it is to me.
Yes. Do you want to go back out there?
I'm not done. I have more stories to tell and more to say.
That's my daughter, your mother says with a smile.
Besides, I've got to nail at least one man in the head with that bow and arrow, or else I'm doing it a disservice.
True. Your father says. And your mother says, and then your father just sort of puts a hand out and like shushes.
I appreciate your concerns, but I have to make mistakes and do things on my own.
If I can make a suggestion, your father speaks up at this point. And it's your pack. And that's a group decision. But that kinfolk has been shadowing you. Made sure you were all made it through that party in one piece.
If this is about the same thoughts you had earlier, I told you I have no romantic interest in him.
Your mother sighs. It's not. It's
good. Wait.
I think it would help relieve some of your mother's concerns. She nods.
Do you want Alexis to go with me when I go back?
If it works for the rest of your pack, she says. And your father kind of continues. And from the kinfolk side of things, this is a place that is very good at nurturing and protecting people, which is needed. The wolves need a place in this world that's increasingly hostile to it. But that man's from a big city. And he's capable.
We wouldn't happen to be going back by train, would we?
I mean, I do have I already got tickets.
I've-
Your mother says, but
I'll
it's fine
discuss
if
it.
you don't use them.
I'll discuss it with the pack.
It'll take longer, but there's other ways back. You got 4 legs.
I do. I will go have talks with my pack and see if Alexis can join us in London then.
All right. You head back.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all probably still in the same.
I mean, Eileen's gotten up, but she's like making like coffee. Probably Irish coffee. So with a
Coffee's
bit of
been
rum.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've headed back toward the cottage.
Yeah. Coffee was already made before y'all woke up.
Beautiful.
She makes it an Irish coffee, so she adds a bit of alcohol to it. But
Yeah.
Juniper is face down on the floor. There's a cup of coffee like just out of her reach that I feel like Alexis put there for a reason.
Yep.
Dapple will come back in. Well, I've had a talk with my parents.
And
She'll take the coffee. Alexis,
mm-hmm.
Would you mind giving the pack and I just a moment?
Oh, look, there's a wonderful field out there. I'm gonna go investigate it.
Right. The wild excuse.
Could you push the coffee cup closer before you leave?
No, it's close enough. Reach for it.
No, it's not. I am.
Reach for it. Reach
I
further.
hate you.
my, what quaint yet rustic architecture! I think I will examine it further.
Yes.
Door shuts. Coffee was not moved closer.
All right, I have a bit of a discussion to have with the 3 of you. So my Rivers Current and my father were not very. Rivers Current was not keen on the idea of me going to London to begin with. And now that I'm back and I want to return to London, she wants me to go with a little bit of assurance and a bit of home.
I mean, she gave you a bow.
She's also giving me a kinfolk.
Tell you what.
I love the spot of the kinfolk holding group society. It's so fucked up.
Are those for sale?
No.
Well, not unless you're in certain tribe sects.
It depends on your definition of sale. No, barter. Yes.
I feel like that should be illegal.
Two
It should be.
kinfolks for a cow and 6 chickens.
Yeah.
My father and mother suggested that the lovely gentleman you've gotten to meet, Alexis, comes with us.
Do you remember his name this time? She
I
says,
knew
looking
his
over.
name. I was just coffee.
You have to get up to get it.
No.
Oh, then then you don't get coffee then.
Inching forward on her face.
Eileen, like as she gets closer, just actively puts one hand on the coffee cup and slides it away from her.
I hate you so much.
No, you don't.
I do. Also, how are we supposed to keep a kinfolk alive?
The same way you keep anyone alive.
That's the thing. Alexis is
capable himself.
And being a kinfolk is unlikely to run headlong into the kind of dangers that Guru do.
He's smart.
Right, because he's not made of indestructible and replenishing fur. But I needed to at least bring the idea forth to the two of you. Three of you, because Wolfric is here.
Yes, he's just sort of stoically standing silent.
Oh, then that's going to change what I was going to say. Because she was going to ask what Wolfric thought on the matter.
I mean, he seems like a fine enough lad. Probably have his uses.
She stares at the coffee cup. Finally gets up. Gets it. Yeah. We could use another right now.
I know we don't have a theurge, but at least would give us another person. And honestly, might just be easier for him to get access to things.
You do have an imminent mission.
Yeah,
In, a few weeks.
It might be easier for kinfolk to ask questions in certain areas that we need to get info at.
I mean, he knows a lot more about society than I do, so.
And he can be in places where I'm a little bit more obvious.
That does come from having a reputation.
So I think you should probably ask his opinion on this first before we just uproot him.
What weird Guru opinions you have.
I was assuming he'd already been informed of this, but yeah, if he's not aware of it, should probably let him know.
I wanted to make sure the group was on board before even attempting that conversation.
And I think it's ultimately his choice.
Well, it's not. It's technically the leader of the Septier's choice, but it should be his choice. You're correct.
Yeah, it should be his choice, and we should let it be his choice.
Get you idealists.
Dapple will slide out.
What the fuck are you, children of Gaia?
Will slide out of the cottage and look for Alexis.
Yeah, I'm a distance away, but not so far it takes.
Hi,
What's up?
I wanted to talk to you. My mother thinks I could use some help. And
all right,
being in London, obviously they can't give me much help from there. And they suggested and floated the idea that you might come along to London with us.
Suggested. It's fine. Yeah, I am okay with that.
Fantastic.
If that's what you're saying.
Yes, I would love. Will you come to London with me?
Absolutely.
Good. I will let the others know, and
right.
I don't know when we need to figure out when we're going back.
Yeah. You can leave whenever you want to.
Do you know how we're getting back?
Well, that's the sticky bit. That's where things get a little higgledy-piggledy. Dad already bought the tickets back for the train, but I have a feeling I won't be able to get Juniper or Eileen onto a train for a while, considering.
All things considered, I think that that makes sense. Um,
Though I will float the idea by them. If we want to do the if they may surprise me and say let's take the train, but
There's also, as far as transportation options, stagecoach is a thing that is a long, uncomfortable, crowded way to do that.
Unless you're like Eileen and have more money than God and buy a private coach.
Exactly. Or just buy horses. Just outright buy things. So
Yep.
there are other options besides the running back as wolves thing that would include Alexis.
we can take a stagecoach.
okay.
It'll be
However you guys
cramped,
want to do,
but,
whatever is best for you guys. Like, I'm good with train, but I have not been traumatized by recent train incidents, so I'm good with stagecoach. Whatever's gonna work.
fantastic. Well then,
Eileen's
welcome
first
to the
line-
dark and stormy.
I was about to say.
Thank you.
Eileen's line when you ask her if she wants to take the train back will be, aside from everything else, you realize they haven't fixed the fucking train track that we used to get out here in a day, right?
This is true.
It has only been a day. Oh, that's right. Stagecoach it is then. Or we can
I do
stay
think
for a
it's
while.
absolutely hilarious that the Rivers hasn't thought of that.
Yeah, no.
Well,
she's
like-
also a lupus. It's not.
Yeah, no.
Neither of them realized how bad the explosion was because they weren't there. So
That's true.
That
They
too.
might not know that the track is wrecked.
Mhm. Yep. And with the gathering of a new configuration and the sound of horses running and the clang of wheels on cobblestones, this episode of werewolves, Victorian werewolves, will end there.
say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.